One Piece 1190 finally reveals to us, in greater detail, the famous Imsama, the current king of the world. And his Antichrist vibe, his demonic side, his diabolical side, his infernal side, that's it. So I know you're waiting for my review and you're wondering, but what's going to be the problem, boss? There's always a problem. What's going to be the problem? Honestly, I don't know if I have a problem with this chapter or not, but what is certain is that it didn't really excite me. I don't know why. We'll try to figure it out together. We'll try to identify this problem. Yes. Thank you NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Back to our little review. Yes. Alright. Chapter 1. 1190. So I know that a lot of One Piece fans are getting all excited, like, oh, amazing man, we see Imsama. I think the problem I have with Imsama is that the reveal of what he looks like, it doesn't really reveal anything. It leaves everything unclear. How can I explain? Oh, it's okay, we know what he looks like. So what? Is it? Was there any point in hiding his face all this time just for him to look like a guy we've never seen before? You know what I mean? There were still many theories about why we never saw his face until now. You know, in a story when you hide someone's face, it's because that face itself is an answer to something. Either it's going to happen, it's going to be a plot twist, or it's because it's a face. Often that's it, a face we've already seen before. I don't have an example that comes to mind right now. Wait, actually, yes, I do have an example. Famous if there ever was one, Obito. In Naruto, you know, Toby. There you go, but why is he masked? But who is he? Boom, he takes off the mask, it's adult Obito. Well, everyone saw it coming from 500,000 kilometers away. But here it makes sense. There's a revelation, there's a real revelation. Or you can take the opposite approach and actually make it deceptive. That is to say, oh no, I was about to spoil 20th Century Boy, I'm not going to spoil 20th Century Boy in this case. But there's this whole thing about the revelation, like damn, but who is it actually? And actually no, I'm not going to spoil it anyway. We've had 20 years, well, I'm exaggerating, more like 15 years of suspense. But what does Imsama look like? Just so that in the end we see his face. And it's a guy we don't even know. And who cares? You know what I mean? I didn't get the point of hiding his face. Or maybe it wasn't even hidden. It was just that he looked like that because whatever. And then he had that transformation because whatever. That's what's weird. And beyond the reveal itself, it's the context of the reveal that doesn't seem earned. If you want. You almost get the feeling that the Straw Hats stumble upon it by chance. A series of coincidences. It's not like, let's go, it's them. Wait, there was another example. The Grand Pope. In Saint Seiya. I'm bringing up the classics. The Grand Pope in Saint Seiya. I'm bringing up Saint Seiya. I'm spoiling Saint Seiya for you. It's 40 years old, don't give me a hard time, just read Saint Seiya. It's kind of a must. The Grand Pope. We get to the Grand Pope. But who is the Grand Pope? Who is the traitor among the Gold Saints? Bam, it's Gemini Saga. Oh, that's crazy. We'd already seen his face. He was the Gemini Saint. Anyway, let's move on. That's the context of the revelation. Before discovering that the Grand Pope is Gemini Saga, there's Seiya and his friends. They have to fight through the 12 houses, sir. They have to go through hell. They have to die and come back to life 14 times. They call on the power of friendship by shouting, and you're here! 50,000 times they've climbed 25,000 steps, those bastards. And they arrive. Damn, it's Saga, you see? And so the revelation carries weight in the sense of, oh damn, it was him from the start. Oh wow, that's crazy. Now we arrive at Elbaf. But Straw Hat and the others weren't searching for him or trying to learn who he was. They don't even know he exists. And they just stumble upon it like that, and we're supposed to hear, oh, finally it pays off. It doesn't pay off at all, actually, when you think about it. It's just, yeah, shut up, it's fine. We just stumbled upon it. See what I mean? Here's another example. Attack on Titan. I think I can spoil Attack on Titan. In Attack on Titan, the reveal is that Reiner is the Armored Titan and Bertolt is the Colossal Titan. You're going to say, yeah, but that reveal also kind of comes out of nowhere. No. They were looking for them. You see what I mean? Eren and all the others knew those people were out there somewhere and that they were human. They were looking for them. They didn't expect it to be their friend, but they were looking for them. And then they show up like that during a mission. Hey, actually, it's us. Come on, let's go. We're leaving. And then you go, oh. The revelation comes a bit out of nowhere, but looking back, it's still, I don't know how to put it, rewarding. You feel like something has been accomplished by the story, by the characters. Here, I don't get that feeling with One Piece. So we have Imsama, he's there, okay. And I don't care. Maybe that's the problem. Or maybe it's the way the story is made that makes it not, you could say the word rewarding, I don't know where that comes from. But yeah, I don't feel like anything is accomplished by Imsama showing up. I think that's a bit of a problem. But well, maybe it's just me, maybe it's my philosophy about how to handle a reveal in a story that doesn't match with that of One Piece. But who am I? Who am I to judge? Me? I'm the self-proclaimed boss. I don't give a damn about you. What's up? What's his problem? Yeah? I'm losing it here. Imsama finally appears in broad daylight in his form. Apparently in the end, huh? There you go. Now he has a look where it's true, he looks a bit more villainous, a bit less like One Piece, that's true, but still he's cool and very stylish, plus he's really tall. On the other hand, that's a problem too, because we're on a giant island. The guy is a semi-giant, you know? There's a problem with scale. It's sometimes hard to get your bearings spatially to gauge the scale. I think between the different characters, let's just say it's style. Let's say, well, he's there, he shows up, we don't really know what he wants. And he demonstrates a new range of powers. That's also a big problem, which I find quite recurring in the universe. Good point. But here, especially in this arc, it's about Imsama. Every time you get some information about it, it brings up 5 other things, 50 more mysteries, and that's basically it. You could sum up One Piece since the time skip like that. They answer one question but leave you with 5 more. Each of those 5 questions will lead to 5 more. After a while, well, that's it. So here we are. We thought it was just Domi Reversi, just that thing, just, you know, I make weird tentacles, just, you know, I can summon people, just, you know, I give powers to the elders. No, now he comes in, he does his new thing, the Homan, which was translated as Presage in the French version, in the official version. He can throw little flames, we don't really know what it does. Sometimes it turns into a kind of cartoonish cannonball. Sometimes it shoots explosions, sometimes it shoots bullets, we're not really sure. When he meets the Divine Knights, he throws a demonic aura at them. Boom! New power, what's going on with this? Once again, and he says to Summers, he says something like, hey, hurry up and do your thing, because I don't have much time to waste. What thing? Originally they were there to kidnap the kids, so are they just going to try kidnapping the kids again? What's the Divine Knight's new side quest now that their plan failed and there are no boats left? What will they do? They're still going to kidnap the children, I don't know. So he's going to free them all. He even manages to free Gung-Ho, apparently. Well, I don't know if she was freed, but we assume he was freed with his other comrade. We see that he has his double-ended spear, which can turn into a cannon on one side and shoot a little flame like that. We see he can have wings and fly. So actually, we don't get any answers. We just know what he looks like, but his powers, we still don't know what he's capable of. You tell me. It's the devil fruit. Alright, but for you, what does a demon do? We know he can make pacts, and apparently he can give powers to people. We're going to have to poser un peu des limites about what he can do. When I say limits, I mean telling us directly what his power is, actually, please. We'd really like to know at some point. Because right now it's mystery after mystery after mystery. Maybe it's time for a payoff, you know what I mean? Well, remember last week and even the weeks before, I said that, okay, if Imsama appears, there are 2 possible solutions. Either Imsama comes to die on Elbaf, and as a result, the established order in One Piece, which is already starting to waver, gets completely shaken up. But now it's like, that's it, it's a mess, it's total war, otherwise it's over, you see. Either Imsama has to show up and traumatize the Straw Hats and everyone on Elbaf. It looks like we're heading in that direction. Problème? I'm sorry, but all he does is cut things up. So, yeah, it's good, but actually I think people's reaction is over the top. I mean, the guy swings a sword, it cuts. And people are like, oh, he cut it. Yeah, it seems they're realizing sword strikes in One Piece actually cut. So, he cut off a giant woman's fingers and he cut off a guy's leg. Well, I'm willing to bet that Chopper is going to heal them, don't worry. And luckily there was some thread. We're going to see something silly like that because after all we're still in One Piece. But anyway, the guy shows up, he's farmed, meaning he arrives, bam, he beats the giants, bam, he crushes them. Zoro gets taken out in one hit. Careful, that's important. After that, I think Zoro will get back up. The guy, he saw this was him without his bandana. Watch out, he's going to put on his headband. It's not going to be the same story. He comes in and one-shots, same with Zoro, but I don't think Zoro got taken out in one hit. I think there's going to be a round 2 behind my back, there's going to be a round 2. So the guy, he comes in, he wrecks everyone, we don't really know what he wants, he's good. So I come to kill the guy who killed my slave, Harold, obviously, and then he says because he wasn't a slave, he was my father and he was the king of Elbaf. Now we're going to settle this between us. Big fight! So now, the problem is that the fight will have to be epically epic. Oda, I want something crazy here. We're letting you cook here, but you have to do something crazy here, I want. So we have the classic move because Oda read Dragon Ball Z, of course. Dragon Ball, sorry. So he knows the classic move. It's just that, well, here, Loki is Vegeta, actually. Loki's Vegeta. He's the guy, he has every reason to fight, he has every reason to want to win, but he's not going to win. And then at the last moment, Son Goku will show up like, so you're the bad guy, you look strong, come on, let's fight. It won't happen like that, I'm just imagining the scene. Saiyan arc? Saiyan arc? Goku is trying to hurry and get there. He's on the flying Nimbus. He can feel everyone's energy dying. Oh no, someone is dying. What's happening? He arrives. He sees Krillin on the ground. He sees Yamcha dead. He sees Tien dead. He sees Piccolo dead. He goes, oh, I'm going to get angry. Then he goes, ah. He gets angry right away. He crushes Nappa. And then he goes to fight Vegeta. Except this time, wait. Maybe there's a world where he takes out the Divine Knights first, finishes them off as he arrives. Before taking out Imsama. That would be super cool, man. But anyway, he's going to show up to save Loki at the last moment. I feel like that's going to happen. And then, once again, if we get to that point, there are two options. Either Luffy wins, and so it really reshuffles the deck in the One Piece game. Or he gets his ass kicked. And so the quest for the One Piece, the quest against the world government makes sense, if you will. Because up until now, once again, you haven't proven me wrong. The quest to the Straw Hats and Luffy happens in parallel. The story of the world government and the struggle over the Void Century and all that, these are two things that don't intersect, that have only just started to intersect since Egghead. For real. They're starting to intersect a little, but they don't really intersect. They still haven't. Yeah, I'm making gestures to explain what I mean. They still haven't merged. These two stories still haven't merged. The fact that Imsama, the head of the world government, shows up, beats up the Straw Hats, maybe even defeats one of them, or maybe even destroys Elbaf. Now, it's not just about the quest for the One Piece. Now it becomes a personal quest. It's Luffy going, wait, that's the king of the world? I'm going to kick his ass. Because that's what Luffy does. He arrives somewhere, sees there's a villain oppressing people, and goes, hey, we're getting rid of you. I won't leave this country until the people are free. Then he'll see that no one in the world is free and say, okay, let's set aside the One Piece for a moment and free the world. That would be epic. Do something like that and you win me back. I'll say, okay, all right, sorry. I shake your hand, I'm pumped. But for now, all of this is a bit weird. Once again, after that, obviously there's this factor to keep in mind, which is that reading chapter by chapter, week by week, and reading all at once, it's not the same thing. It's not always the same reading experience. You don't always experience the events and the story the same way, something that might seem a little slow to you. A little slow and scattered. When you read it all at once, it might seem much more structured to you, obviously. For now, I haven't had the chance to reread this arc all at once. We'll see. But I still think it's a bit all over the place. So I hope there's a real purpose to it, and that the goal of Elbaf is really to connect the two main stories of One Piece, which are, once again, I'll repeat, Luffy's quest and the story of the Void Century with the world government and all that. There you go, plus everything else orbiting around it. Blackbeard could still show up on the island at the last minute, like, hey, I took the path my father had. His father must have had his own path. He was always there and had his own way through. I took Zebek's path. And then there, on Elbaf, actually, you don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, Trafalgar Law shows up too, because we don't know where he went. Trafalgar Law arrives, you've got Kobe there. You don't know why? Because he's not far. Kobe's supposed to be nearby. Blackbeard shows up too, and then let's just cut to a God Valley Part 2. That could happen at any moment, and then it'd really be the end, you know? Well, it would really be like, oh, shut up, alright, I'm done. That could genuinely happen, but we'll see. So a chapter which adds confusion, I'm sorry, but at the same time is full of promise. So we'll see in the next chapters. It seems there is no break next week, if I'm not mistaken, so we'll talk about it again. We might also discuss this with Darko on the podcast. But for now, I'll hold off on judgment, let's say. I'm not going to say there's really a particular problem with this chapter. The problem is actually inherent to this arc as a whole. Everything that was a flashback was incredible, to be clear. Even if at the end of the flashback I felt a little, but I have a hard time getting excited about it. Here you go. Maybe I'm too old or I've seen too much. Maybe it just doesn't do it for me anymore, that's possible. Maybe I'm dead inside, but I struggle. I understand how One Piece hypes things up. There you go. No, but I understand. I understand, and I'm convinced that you're sincere. Aren't you at least a bit disappointed? Let me ask you, aren't you somewhat disappointed by Imsama's revelation? A revelation that reveals nothing? Isn't there something like, didn't you kind of take us for fools? You know, weren't you expecting him to look a bit like Vivi, something like that? No? Really? You say to yourself, yeah, great, fine. I don't know, there's something that bothers me about Imsama's reveal. I feel like it falls a bit flat. But hey, we'll see. Maybe once again I'll say, damn, Laura is amazing, you know? I don't know. Anyway. That's about all I had to say about this chapter 1190. And we'll talk about it again in chapter 1191. In the meantime, I'll let you tell me what you think in the comments. And I'll see you soon on Spatule Bros for new videos. And may passion guide you, yes.